Okay. Okay. Press and hold that button. Perfect.
The power.
Hello and welcome to Plano West Rotary Club. Woo! Girl power, yes. Welcome everybody. It's so exciting to be here on today. Unfortunately, our wonderfully awesome president is not with us on today, but she left me in charge. So just pray, all right? We'll get through it. We're going to, first of all, welcome to everyone and especially our guests that may be in the room. We're glad to have you here today. All of our people on Zoom, hello. We are going to start with we're going to all say together our invocation. You want to stand? That'd be great because we'll have our pledge right after. As we gather here today as members of Rotary, we seek to be ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life, exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Amen. And let's go ahead and do our pledge while you're there. I think our flag's over here, okay? Oh, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right. And with that being said, I'm going to call up Catherine, who will do our introduction of our guests, and then Steve will follow her with our brags.
Today, we are excited to welcome a returning guest, Matt Clem. Now, y'all, he actually asked me about becoming a member, so y'all. That's it.
Well, that was brief. Okay, welcome everybody. It is nice weather outside. We need to open those doors up over there and let a little fresh air in. And I got somebody that looks like they want to brag really bad. Go ahead.
I want to brag today on the Plano Wildcats boys basketball team who won the Region 1 championship on Friday night and are headed into the regional playoffs today against Hebron. So if you want to go watch a great basketball game, go to Capella High School at 7:30. Watch the Wildcats defeat Hebron. Go Wildcats.
That's awesome. I remember a few years back when my daughter was in high school, basketball team won the state championship for basketball Wildcats. So thank you. Who else is in a bragging mood today? All right, coming your way.
Steve is like, dang it. Well, this weekend I bought a new, to me, harp. And believe it or not, it is bigger than my other one. I have a real big girl harp now. So
Cool.
Yay.
Awesome. Molly.
Yes, I want to brag that today is my birthing day.
For my little girl, Chloe, turning 28.
Happy birthday. Anybody else over here? Oh, Michelle?
I'm just gonna brag on a fellow Rotarian, Molly. Molly has been a wealth of help and joy to me lately. First of all, she signed up to be my prize guru for the adoption fair. So she's gonna go buy all the prizes for those kiddos. But also, we just had some stimulating conversation about solar panels and getting your sewer lines replaced when you have with cast iron, and some good ideas on how to handle that. A rider on the insurance and getting a nice video of the plumbing. So anyway, I appreciate all of those ideas. So I just thought I'd brag on a fellow member. And last, one more thing. Everybody's wearing really colorful spring. I got 2 greens and a purple and a couple yellows.
Yeah, don't look at me. Sorry.
So yeah, I mean, just some bright, and then even the red is maybe not traditional spring, but it's bright and colorful. So
Now I gotta go change shirts. Sure. Yeah.
Hi, I just wanted to brag very briefly about our Plano ISD PTA that went down to the legislative days. Yes, yesterday, starting at 5:30 in the morning on a yellow school bus. Yeah, there was a mix up with the charter. So it was a little bumpier ride all the way down to Austin and back. But very proud of our senior high school debate and forensics team that came down to ask questions of our legislators about priorities for our public schools that PTA is supporting. They were one of our young men from Plano West was actually the keynote speaker at the student rally, and he did a fabulous job.
Tell you what, we need to get some of those Rotary debaters down there to Austin and let all those big boys get a talking to from them.
Hi, Janelle Berry Cook, everybody. I just wanted to brag that today I finally got to shift a whole bunch of things around and make it in person to see some of your faces.
glad to have you.
Anybody else?
Clarence.
Clarence, okay. I want to just brag on Rotary there at all events. I turned on the YouTube, I guess, on Saturday and watched the parade in Houston, the rodeo parade, horses galore all over the place, and excellent. And there was a whole bunch of riders, Rotarians, a club down there with Rotary shirts on there, and they did say service above self. That was the parade in the parade. So that's really cool. Okay,
Online.
I'm gonna get them. You run out of stuff to say.
Bragging about another Rotarian, Jennifer Schertzer, I know is working on a book for Plano Now and Then, and that's very exciting.
Am I in the midst of a famous author?
I will tag team. Thank you, Molly. So the writer is Mary Jacobs. I'm doing the photos, and it's for the Plano Conservancy, which is a nonprofit. So all the proceeds go to the nonprofit, and it comes out in summer, and I'll let you know when you can buy it.
Yay.
So am I in the midst of a famous photographer? I'm gonna make up a holiday. This is National Left Hand Day. Raise your hand if you're left-handed. All right. Woo, look at that.
Probably is on the National Left Hand Day.
All right. Online. Anybody want to brag wave at me? Yes, sir. I see you. Go on. Yes, sir. My eyes aren't good enough to actually read the name. Michael. Cook.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Hey guys. Oh, yeah. Hey guys. I am having my campaign kickoff this Wednesday, so I just wanted to say a little brag because it took a long time to get here and it's finally happening. So it's Wednesday at 6 o'clock at Twisted Root. Super excited to finally kick off my campaign officially.
Cool.
Anybody else want to brag today?
Julia Stafford.
Okay, Julia,
Oh, she's clapping.
Oh, oh, sorry.
if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. All right, I'm gonna close out with a request. I'm covered for February on classification talks. I'm wide open March going forward. So come see me, please, in the meeting if you haven't signed up for one of those yet. Simple, just a few minutes, talking a little bit about your city, your family, and what you do. Everybody can do that. All right, Madam President. Okay, John, would you like to come up and do your classification talk?
Kelly, can you make John co-host, please?
Kelly, make John co-host, please.
Who am I making co-host, John?
Yeah, we've got a couple others asking that too, Kelly.
Okay.
John. Yeah.
Hold, please. Where are you at, John? There you are.
I'm coming in.
Hot.
Okay. John, you should be good.
I should be good, but I'm mostly naughty. There we go. So, anybody here wearing a logo shirt today? You're wearing graphic design. Who has their button on? You're wearing graphic design. See this Rotary flag up here? That's graphic design. Okay, graphic design is quite literally one of the oldest professions. May not be the oldest profession, but it's up there. Okay, as we can see from the caves from Lascaux in France, we had people that were telling us how they lived millennia ago, 30, 50,000 years ago, what it was that they did. We could see that they were hunting. We could see the animals that they were hunting. Okay, that is graphic design. Okay, and from Egypt, the hieroglyphs that we have in Egypt that we were able to translate when we found the Rosetta Stone back in the time of Napoleon, to the Roman temples, and this is the Parthenon in Rome that we can still read today. That is graphic design. Some of my favorite stuff is the illuminated manuscripts that they made back in the Middle Ages, when everything was done by hand and everything was, each page was actually hand painted and handwritten by a monk that was sitting there duplicating over and over again everything that was being done. Okay, Gutenberg, when he combined the movable type technology the Chinese had created with the printing press, he changed the world. He made it so that people could access books, not just the rich people, but everybody could access books. And that made reading and writing something egalitarian and important for the entire world. Okay, but then this right here, this is the device that changed printing and publishing forever. Because as you can see, all of these computers that are sitting up here on this is the tool that I use nowadays. Now, graphic design is everywhere. It's on everything. Okay, you can see graphic design in any place. But when I got my first job back in 1993, I was doing paste up in the Potomac News. Okay, I would sit there, we would have our Macs and we would print out on a little 300 DPI laser printer the classified ads that we were putting in the paper that day. And I would sit there and take those sheets, slice them up with a razor blade, throw them through a waxer, throw them on a board, and then we would end up taking a camera and making those into the pages of the newspaper that day. Okay, nowadays everything is done on the computer, and it goes straight to press. There is no camera, there is no film, there is no waxer, there is no razor blades that are going into this. But that was my very first job. And so I remember being taught when I was in college by my professors how to do the paste up and the wax up. And it's like, that stuff where I would mask out somebody's head by just drawing circles around it in Photoshop. Back then, you would be taking a razor blade on a piece of ruby lith and going around somebody in order to mask them out. And it's like, that took more skill than doing it on the computer, because trying to keep your hands steady, that's not the easiest thing in the world. Now, one of my favorite jobs that I ever had was doing an exhibit called The Olympic Woman for Georgia State University back in 1996. And we designed 54 panels that were done in conjunction with the 1996 Atlanta Summer Games. And all of these were highlighting how women's participation had grown in the Olympics from the very first games. The 1896 Athens Games, men only, women were not allowed to participate. 1900, when we got to London, that's when they started, okay, women could come in and they could play tennis and they could play golf. And that was it. By the time we got to 1996, we're on near parity between men and women in all the sports. And I love this because this is large, this is 3D, and people could actually, I'm one of those people that will go through a museum and I will read all of the tags that you see sitting there in the museum. So I love watching all of that stuff. Now, many of you are familiar with this because you see these up on the street right now. Okay, Jennifer, I think you took the photo. Did you? So this is a photo that Jennifer Schertzer took, but this is me putting it all together to make Julie's road signs for her city council campaign. And I designed the logo, and this is everywhere, all around. You can't walk out of here and go 3 blocks without seeing a Julie sign. So that is graphic design. Okay. Now, some of you are probably more annoyed at these because this is the text messages that we had that would accompany all of that stuff back in the 2021 campaign. And all of you were probably annoyed by getting your phones blown up constantly by our text messaging to get out and vote and make sure that you got out there. But that is still an essential part of the graphic design. There is not just one tool or one medium where you're going to see graphic design. Okay. This is the most recent piece that I designed. Last night, I put the finishing touches on it and sent it to the client. This is for Stephanie Newharth, who is running for city council up in the city of Denton. So this is, you've gotten the entire history there. Now, one of the most important things that I could say for graphic design is backing up everything. Okay. As you can see from this little presentation here, this is a branding guide that I did for future brands who own makers, who bought a whole bunch of liquor brands and own Maker's Mark and they did Starbucks liqueurs, Tesoro, brands like that. And when I did this guide, it was about 280 pages of how to handle the brand, every single brand across the entire line. But guess what? The hard drive that I have all of this stuff on, I can't access it anymore. Now, that doesn't make a difference because Tesoro future brands managed to last a whole 18 months before they broke up the companies and sold them off to other people. So it's not like that was an ongoing client forever and ever. But at the same time, I would like to have something out of this that is more than just fuzzy pictures that I've got going on and back up. So that is my classification talk for graphic design. Is there anybody that has any questions? Yes, Fred. What? Well, batteries don't help you when your hard drive is dead.
Banners.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Those are easy. They cost around $100 a pop. So Courtney.
If you were a font or typeface, which one would you be?
Well, if you took a look at my presentation, you would see that everything was done in Avenir. And that is literally my favorite typeface because it is something that I can read at all times. Any other questions? So if you're taking a look, Jennifer, turn so he can see your leadership Plano. Okay, now you see what it says in leadership Plano, that's a serif typeface. But if you take a look at where you see Fred's name on the little button that he's wearing there, that is a sans serif typeface. Okay, that is the most basic things, is you see little hooks on the ends of the letters or not. And beyond that, there are literally hundreds of thousands of typefaces in all different scripts, in Latin script and Cyrillic script, Greek, even Cherokee. There are typefaces for every single language that has ever been created. So, you know, it's hard to pick the best one, but I go back to Avenir often just because I like the way it looks on the page. Thank you.
Thank you. Fred B, I'm gonna ask if you'll start making your way up here. It's time for our announcements. Fred B, if your name is Fred B, raise your hand. Fred, can you come up and tell us about pecans? Yes, sir.
I know. If you're not from the South or the state of Texas, this is pretty appropriate. I mean, it's not a pecan.
Number one, you don't pronounce them peak. No, they don't want to see me. Anyway, actually, the pecan season is basically over, but I've still got a case at the office. I've got some out in the car if you still need some. But we were really blessed to have a lot of people that were selling them. The county clerk's office for one. And they've been selling pecans for us since 2005, when Brenda Taylor was president of Plano West Rotary. And but anyway, I buy a lot of pecans and give them out to clients and even some of the municipal people. But to see the smile on their face, it's worth it and so forth. But now, are you going to talk about the scholarship fund that we're? No, I'm gonna give that to you. But anyway, she's going to talk a little bit about scholarship. But while I'm up here, and this is not related to pecans, but we're in the process now of accepting applications from boys and girls, not necessarily in the Plano, the big high schools, Plano, Plano West, and Plano East. We'll take them from John Paul High School and some of the others. But if you know somebody that's just finishing their junior year in high school, they can go online and everything that they need to fill out for Rotary is in there. And if they want to apply for Camp Ryland stuff, tell them to get them to their counselors so the counselors can get them to me or Johnny Lewis and everything. But we don't want them to miss out on that opportunity. But anyway, but if anybody wants any pecans, call me at the office, come by and pick them up if you want to. But Joanne.
So the scholarship applications are, but is there another one for Ryland?
Oh, yeah, Ryland and the,
That's a separate
yeah,
thing.
that's a separate
Separate.
one. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let Tamara explain the scholarships for.
Are you related to Jimmy Carter?
Am I related to Jimmy Carter? Well, anyway, thank you.
Thank you. You have some in your car, you said?
I do.
So if you want to buy some today, you can do so.
They freeze really well.
Yep.
And if anybody's really good at making pecan pies, I'll eat them. All right. So scholarships, we have had our applications up for a little bit now. So we're encouraging everyone to please let all of your college friends, family, everybody know. It's not just for seniors, but it's for anyone that's in college or going to be in college that touches Plano in some way, whether you live here, work here, go to school here. And so we'll be giving out 6 scholarships for $1,000 each. And the deadline, I believe, is May. I forgot to look what date I put on there. I think it's the first week of May. Rotary Means Business is tonight at 5 o'clock at 12 Cuts Brazilian Steakhouse. And I believe it's led by Assistant Director- Say that again.
Alan Feigenbaum.
Alan Feigenbaum. All right, I thought it was the Markham, Keith Markham, but okay. So Glenn and Michelle have corrected us on that, but 12 Cuts is awesome if you haven't been there. So it's from 5 to 7:30 on tonight. And it's business casual, and they're encouraging everyone who is able to please come.
It's a networking event.
It's a network, okay, and so just come and network.
Yep.
That's awesome.
For the whole,
Okay.
for the whole district.
Oh, for those that are online, they're saying you come and network. It's for the whole district. And I believe there's, I don't know how many clubs in it. 66 clubs in our district. So you'll meet a lot of people with different classifications, as we heard about with John on today. Also, the Art of Reading has been rescheduled to this Sunday, the 5th, because of the weather. It's at 4 p.m. This is at the Art Center of Plano, where our dear James Thomas, I can call him Baby Duty because he's not here, but James Thomas will be reading to the youth, and we need volunteers, lots of volunteers to set up tables, to grill hamburgers, to serve food. So we have 4 slots for each shift. The shifts are 4 to 7. It's going to be set up and grilling. 5:30 to 9 will be prepping, grilling, tear down the food service area. And then 7 to 9:30 will be grilling and serving it during that time. So if you're able to be there Sunday evening, please do so. Cleanup is going to be on Avenue K on March 18th at 9 o'clock. And there are 10 slots that are filled already. So we don't need anybody else, right? Yay! Can y'all get excited about that? Then we have our meal drive at Armstrong on the 21st, and we still need 10 volunteers for that. So Catherine, can you come up here? Yeah, so that people online can see you.
Hey, I just wanted to, I forgot this in my brags. I want to thank our Rotary folks, Rotarians who showed up at our last meal drive-through at Armstrong. We had Peter and Brett and Joanna, right? Did I get everybody?
And my friend.
And, oh yeah, and your friend, Zen. And Mark? Oh, yep, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Cameron,
Yes, ma'am.
I thought I heard you say Sunday when you were talking about the art of reading. But
Yes.
But March 2nd.
It changed
Oh, so the
because of
date
the
up there
weather,
is-
yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it changed to the 5th.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, and it is corrected on the sign-up sheet, so you will get to the correct date and times on there. All right, so our meal drive is March the 21st at 3 o'clock. And we still need 10 volunteers for that. The next announcement is Adoption Awareness Fair, and that's March the 25th. Michelle, do you want to say anything about that? Because we need lots and lots
Yes.
and lots of
We need
volunteers.
lots of volunteers. I just actually put it up on our website this morning. Yeah, I put it up on our website this morning. We need lots of volunteers, and basically all we're doing is providing food and fun for prospective parents and kiddos in our North Texas foster care system to hopefully help them find forever homes. Who can't get excited about that? So just come help us out. You can help the kids play certain games and give them prizes. There's other logistical things you can help Glenn set up in the morning, tear down. There's a variety of things up on the sign up. So we would love to have some more help. Thanks.
Awesome. You can keep that. And I saw about 40 different slots. So when I say we need help, get your grandmother and your sister and brother and grandchildren, everybody to sign up. And I think, is it 15 years, the youngest age you can sign up, 15 to
14 to 17.
14 to 17, so bring your children as well. So, that's on March 25th, but also Texas Forever Fest is on March 15th, and we will be selling our funnel cakes. I forgot about scholarships that Fred announced it. But anyway, Texas Forever Fest is going to be 2 shifts from 9 to 2 and 2 to 7. We still need 6 volunteers for each. Mike, are you spearheading that?
Sure.
Okay, you have anything you want to say to that?
No. These volunteers, we're gonna have to clean up Saturday.
He's way back at the end of the room saying we're gonna have a cleanup the Saturday before. So we need more volunteers for that. So 5 or 6. So see Mike Walker to help. Texas Forever Fest is fun if you're not going to the adoption fair. Or you can do both because we have time. All right. 2 quick announcements. District Roundtable is March the 11th at 9:30 a.m. starts the fellowship time, 10 o'clock to noon, I believe it is the District Roundtable business. It's at Christ United Methodist Church. If you don't know where that is, the Thorntons can tell you exactly where it is. Also, then we're having club leader training assembly. I just got this, so I couldn't get it to Glenn. It's going to be at Collin College at 8:30, from 8:30 to noon, and the date is March the 25th as well.
Everything's on March 25th.
Everything's there. But they're going to be talking about things like training topics on foundation, membership, club secretary, treasurer, public image, strategic planning, and so forth and so on. So if you're the chair of one of our committees, then you may want to go and check this out because they'll be training for that and be able to give you more information. Also, the last announcement is our district governor-elect, John Curtis, is having district leadership and club president installation. That would be me. And it's going to be Thursday, June 29th from 5 to 8 at Dallas, Park City Club in Dallas. Tickets are $70, and there is opportunity for sponsorship. So if you want more information, you can get that as well. And then the last thing I'm going to say, because I am 1 minute over, is Lone Star Pets was so wonderful. It was so much fun. Ero, our president nominee, and myself, we were able to go. And yeah, it was fun. It was so fun, the training. And I'm really excited about the new theme for Rotary International 23-24 is create hope in the world. And that is like so me. So I'm so excited about that. We are creating hope in the world. And that's the biggest takeaway that I got from the training is that we literally are creating hope in the world in Rotary International. And there's so many things that Rotary is doing that we all need to, some that don't even know, and some need to know, and some already know, but need to keep at the forefront because we are a powerful force across the world. And so yeah, so anyway, let me just say this. Our new RI president-elect Gordon McKinley, I think is how you say it. He's from Scotland, but he was the best speaker. He was awesome, has a really big heart for service, and one of his points of interest this year is going to be on mental health. So we're excited about that. And the greatest thing is that we're still a top club in Rotary. So last year when I went as a president nominee, I thought I'm going to go in, I'm going to learn everything. I'm just going to be quiet and just write and learn what I could. And when we got into our groups and our settings and everything, everybody was like, so what is Plano West Rotary doing? We know what you got. You guys are this, you guys are that. And I felt like a celebrity. I'm like, oh, so I'm put on the spot in a whole lot of ways. But it was so encouraging to know that we have a great club. So this year, everybody is still talking about our club being in the Rotary International magazine and how great we are. And we talked about things like how to get new members. I was like, check. Increase service projects, check. Build a great board, check. Vibrant club, check. Public image, check. We checked all the marks. And so we are really on the move as a club and really working the 8 areas of focus for Rotary. And so I'm really excited about it. Ro, did you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, it was great. So you guys decided to bear with me as I, start to use all the things I've learned in Rotary. So it's going to be very exciting. We also do have, we are collaborating with 2 other Plano Rotaries for the upcoming elections. So there's going to be a Rotary specific candidate forum. We're going to be collaborating with Plano West and the Plano
Metro?
right, I mean, sorry,
The Metro?
Metro and Plano. So they're gonna be hosting it is on April the 13th and April 20th. It's gonna be at the Glen Eagles Country Club. And the cost for the lunch there is $30. So we are gonna have some more information. I'll be able to provide that for you all next week. The 13th and the 20th. So the one day is for our city council, and then another day will be for the ISDs. So yes.
Awesome. And it is nonpartisan. Okay. All right, and so now that is the end of our announcements. And so now I would like to introduce our speaker, who is the awesome, the infamous, how do you say it? Comparable, incomparable, that's it, incomparable Jennifer Schertzer. Jennifer is the selections chair for the Leadership Plano Advisory Board. She and her husband founded Plano Magazine in 2014. She's also worked as a graphic designer for lawyers, a handbag designer, and a fashion shoot art director for J.C. Penney.
Wow.
She enjoys volunteering with Plano West Rotary with her husband and 2 children. She loves her dog, Zeppelin, like Led Zeppelin, and is a chips and salsa enthusiast. Please welcome our beloved Jennifer Schertzer.
Hey, y'all. Perfect. Thank you. I might go a little fast because I have a lot to cover, but y'all know me, so you can ask me questions afterwards. So I am Jennifer Schertzer. If I haven't gotten to meet you yet, I am a member of this amazing Rotary Club, and I am a graduate of Leadership Plano Class 36, and I'm currently the selections chair for the Leadership Plano Advisory Board. So I'm here today to talk to you about Leadership Plano. It is a program of the Plano Chamber. I'm hoping you can see that. Yeah, great. So I'll tell you a little bit of history if you're not familiar with the program. A little more than 40 years ago, the Plano Chamber of Commerce, which was headed at that time by the late beloved attorney David McCall III, included a visionary group of community leaders. And they had a crystal ball that showed them what the future of Plano was going to look like. And they realized the future would need strong, educated, outstanding leaders to guide the city forward. So even at that time, maybe 79, 1980, Plano was less than 75,000 residents. The chamber inaugurated the program Leadership Plano. It is a program that has withstood the test of time and has developed individuals that include our current mayor, John Munns, our city manager and fellow Rotarian, Mark Israelson, the Plano ISD superintendent, Dr. Teresa Williams, our school board president, David Stolley, and many current members of city council and the Plano ISD board of trustees. The mission of Leadership Plano is educating, developing, and empowering current and future leaders for the community and motivating them to serve civic, charitable, and business organizations. And I'm here today because I think everyone in this room fits that mission. So this fall, the Leadership Plano will welcome class 40. So it's its 40th class. And I'm going to describe what a year in Leadership Plano looks like. So you kick off with an accessible 2-day weekend retreat in September. It's an overnight retreat. Attendance to that is mandatory to be in the program. And by accessible, I mean, people have talked about, there's a little bit of rumors about what the retreat looks like. We make it work for everyone, all levels of ability. Then you'll attend a welcome reception in September or October with city dignitaries. And then once a month from September through May, you attend a day-long session on different aspects of the city. And that can include city history, government, education, economic development, health and human services, criminal justice system, lots and lots of stuff. The class also works together on, in the second half of the year in spring on a class project that they develop and execute that has a lasting positive effect on the community. You can ask Tamara, Joy, Janelle about that. They're in the middle of that. And then late May or early June, the program commences with a graduation that is attended by city VIPs. John Maxwell, a renowned author on leadership, once said, "A leader knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." These words describe Leadership Plano graduates. So why should you guys apply? Leadership Plano will help you grow personally and professionally. It will provide you with a 9-month course in leadership development that enables you to take these experiences out into leadership positions in the community. It will provide you with a strong, all-encompassing knowledge about the Plano community and how the city works. It will give you behind-the-scenes experiences at venues you otherwise would never have the opportunity of visiting, like the county jail, juvenile detention center, hospitals, schools, corporate headquarters. It will introduce you to community, business, and organizational leaders like the city manager, the mayor, the superintendent of schools, and leaders of major companies and directors of nonprofits, which you otherwise would not have the opportunity to interact with in our day-to-day life. And it allows you, this is my favorite part, it allows you to create bonds with your class members and other LP alumni who remain friends for many years after the program ends. As a board member, and Courtney's on the board with me, every fall we get to watch this group of people show up on a Saturday morning, not knowing each other, and 48 hours later, they're best friends, and they're this incredible team. They can take on any challenge together. They will do anything for each other, and they're ready to serve the community. So applications for Class 40, which begins this fall, are now open. So what do you need to know if you're interested in applying? Go to leadershipplano.org. Read the instructions very carefully. Complete the application form, which can be started and then completed in stages and saved along the way. So give yourself plenty of time before the deadline. Ensure you have 2 recommendation letters sent in well before the deadline. Pay a non-refundable $40 application fee. And you must complete all of those steps by Thursday, June 15th at midnight. And that is a non-negotiable deadline. Part of the success of Leadership Plano is the fact that the people who graduate from this program came into the program with unique assets, and their applications demonstrated a degree of current or previous involvement in some aspect of the community and convinced the selections committee that these were people who were aware of the issues facing the city. They were eager for deeper and further participation in their community. They were problem solvers and risk takers. And it showed evidence that their employers were well aware of the commitment Leadership Plano does take and encourage them to apply. There are also certain criteria you have to meet to be eligible. You must live or work in Plano, or live or work within the Plano ISD boundaries. You must be a member of the Plano Chamber of Commerce or work for a business that is a member of the Plano Chamber of Commerce. Or if you're not a member, you must work for a company outside of Plano that affects the Plano area. So you just have to meet one of those 3, not all 3. A couple of frequently asked questions. Will I be notified if I'm selected? Yes. In mid-July, you will get a note whether you are selected or not. On a personal note, I will say, if you have applied once and you do not make it in, please apply again. That is, there's a famous story about one of the Plano mayors who did not get in the first time. And the committee, the reason is because the committee strives to accept a very diverse class, diverse age, diverse range, race, gender, ethnicity, ability, diverse in the type of work you do. So it is a competitive program to get into, and sometimes it takes the second or third try to get in. And the selections committee looks at second timers a little more closely. Who should write your reference letters? You should have 2 reference letters, preferably one personal, one professional acquaintance, and not a family member. And tuition is $1,500 for chamber members and $1,750 for non-members, and is due August 15th. And yes, there are payment plans and scholarships. I highly recommend you ask for the scholarship if you fit it. The information is in the application. And my personal tips, if you decide to apply, be extremely thoughtful in your answers. This application is what makes or breaks you. Take time. Apply, start your application months before you finish it, and really take your time and think about it. You're basically telling your life story on a piece of paper. And if you decide to apply, I would go into this be prepared to attend every session and event with enthusiasm and interest, because Leadership Plano is like most things in life, you get out of it what you put into it. And I hear from some people, that's me. I hear from some people, they would love to do Leadership Plano, but they're so busy with work and family, they don't have time. And I totally understand that. As a small business owner that I was years ago, it took me years to apply. And I will say, once I did it, I'm so glad I did. It is investment. It's a financial investment. It is a time investment. But if you know that you are ready to take the next step personally or professionally, or there's another level you want to reach to, I think this is the program that helps you reach that next level. Personally, I found the program to be very transformational. Many of our club members in Plano West Rotary are graduates or current members, including our past president, Alex Johnson, our current president, Joy Hinkleman, our incoming president, Tamara Thomas. So there's so many of us. I just asked a few of us to come talk about what they personally gained from Leadership Plano. And then obviously when the meeting is over, you can reach out to any of us. But I want to go ahead and ask Catherine and Michael first to come up and just share maybe a minute or two on what they personally, come up this way, on what they personally gained from the program.
I'm gonna set a timer so I don't get in trouble. All right, so for me, I think the thing that's really key is that the program really it'll fill gaps that you don't understand you have. So I am not a young lad, and I went last cycle, and even though I had experience. The camera position? Oh, okay. Even though I had experience with leadership, I found that I was really naive about a lot of the city services. This program really goes deep. I mean, you spend a whole day talking about education. You get to see the inside of the programs. There's actually so much you can't actually see it. They split us up into groups. I can't overstate the network. I mean, so, 40 times 36, about 1,200 new friends you got that you can reach out to. It's a really fantastic program. The retreat was fantastic. It's very memorable. You'll have new friends. For some folks, you'll conquer new fears. I was in the Army, so I did some obstacle courses, but if you haven't done that kind of stuff, it could be really transformative for you, build some of your confidence. Let's see.
Do you think it led you to do anything you otherwise would have done?
Led me to do anything? Well, honestly, it's funny. One key thing I can point to is membership in this Rotary Club, because off of the heels of LP, I was recruited by 3 different people out of coming out of LP. So, that's why I'm in this club. I gave Rotary another shot. I told you guys a story. The first time around, I checked all the clubs. I'm like, not so good. But then I came to this one. I was like, hey, I can do that. I love the service focus we have. So I'm coming up with my time. I think it's a fantastic program. Happy to answer any questions about it. It's well worth the effort. If you have a corporate job like me, it may be tough to get a day off every month, but it's worth the effort. It really is.
Wow, look at that, right on time. I'm you know time. Oh no, this is bad. So to answer the same questions that Michael covered, yeah, I'm here. So the thing that I will tell you about Leadership Plano is it will introduce you and make you comfortable with meeting new friends, with just sticking your hand out and saying, hi, I'm Catherine. I'm interested in kids. I'm interested in service. I have some projects that I would love for you to participate in and feel part of our community. And I will also emphasize that it is greatly informational to be exposed to all the different areas that our city and our school district have that make us better citizens of our communities, to really know what services are out there, and also to be grateful to the folks that do serve us in our community and understand the challenges that they have, and give us even more ways to think about how we can help them provide that service. And I will say now I have some very good friends that literally support me. And let's see, who came? Courtney and Brandon and John. And I'm trying to think, Tara, who's our projects leader, all came with me to Rotary. So it's the opportunity to help your new friends also get connected into the community and serve.
And we have a couple more minutes. So I had Janelle and Courtney, y'all come up. I'm not picking on John. We just have so many LP alum that I couldn't call on everybody, but after the meeting, get with any of us. I saw Danielle Evans. She is on Zoom. She's a graduate as well, but we can all answer questions for you.
Hi, yeah, so echoing a lot of what Michael said, and in fact, Michael was the first person that introduced me to Leadership Plano and is the reason that I actually had that opportunity. For me, I am fairly new to Plano, certainly newer than a lot of people in this room. And if you factor in COVID years, just for COVID years, I'm really, really new. And so during that time, I was looking for a way to get plugged in and better understand the community that I was in. In addition to that, I live on the Dallas side of the border, but my kids feed into Plano ISD, and we just started our Plano ISD journey. Prior to our kids going to school, I didn't come past George Bush very often. Now I like to say I actually don't go south of Campbell. And so what Leadership Plano has done for me has really helped me understand how the Plano sausage is made, if you will, and really helped me understand city government, helped me understand the ISD. And personally, that's where I'm really passionate because my kids go to school in Plano, and really the Leadership Plano for me has, in addition to help me really understand it, exposed me to the people and helped me build relationships. And then personally, from a professional perspective, I've had the opportunity to take a lot of what I learn on a monthly basis back to the organization that I own and lead. So that's my plug.
So I was really lucky for my class 37. I'm surprised I didn't hear any whoops because there's some class 37 people in here. There we go, best class ever, virtually. So we were the class that was, in session during COVID, but I had a really unique experience because I got to lead our class project, which was the Plano Art Walk. So if you've ever talked to me, if you've ever sent me an email, you will see that in my signature block, the Plano Art Walk. A lot of the class projects, as you saw, it's contingent on graduation that we complete a class project. Oftentimes we're presented with ideas. So it was kind of unique that I created this idea and I said, hey, I want to do this. So I got a list of the class projects, the former years, and I saw there were like hardly any, if at all, that were artsy or creative or anything. So I decided early on that if I was going to do something, that it was going to be the class project. I wasn't sure what it was going to be, but it was going to be artsy or creative, and therefore the Plano Art Walk was born. So it's a self-guided tour. You guys can take it anytime, planoartwalk.com, and it takes you through various art installations and historic sites in Plano, but that wouldn't have existed in its current form, or I don't really know even if it would exist at all without Leadership Plano. So.
Cool.
Well, thank you all so much. We have a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any questions about the program, how it works? Steve, we get a mic.
Is there any age limits?
No, I think the youngest we would probably accept is you would have to be about the age of a college graduate. And we do try to be a 22, probably the youngest, all the way up to, who knows? I have seen since I've done it that it seems like the selections committee every year is very, very intentional in having a wide range of ages, which I love. I mean, you've got people who are emerging leaders, I think Leadership Plano does a good job of, we don't just look at people they've been on every board and commission and they've been this and on, and this nonprofit and that and whatever. They look at emerging leaders. This year in Tamara's class, we have several 20-something-year-olds, I think. All the way up to, I know in my class, we had people in their late 70s. And I don't know, I didn't ask their ages, but I loved it. You got to really understand a wide range of perspectives. Anybody else? Okay. Oh, I got like 2 more minutes to talk. Brett. My favorite things. So I have the unique perspective, like Courtney, of we're on the advisory board now. So your year in Leadership Plano is essentially a year. So I think my favorite parts of Leadership Plano are probably colored more by the board experience that I've had. My class graduated in 2019. What are you pointing at? Oh, okay. God, John. Okay. I absolutely, as a small business owner, which I was at the time, I loved, I thought that I gained a lot of experience on just how things in the city worked that would help me. Of course, I ran a magazine, so it was all about the city. Now I would say the alumni network is probably my favorite thing. I have, no kidding. I mean, I don't remember who did the math, but there's 36 approximate members of each class, and this will be the 40th year. So if you do that math, that's a lot. And there are multiple activities every year after you graduate that you're invited back to: a Christmas party, a wine tasting, the welcome reception, the retreat kickoff breakfast, spring roundup that Courtney plans. I can literally send an email to someone I've never met. I could send an email to an ex-mayor and say, hey, I'm an alum. I was LP class 36, you're this class. And I may not get a response, but there's a better chance that I will. You are in this elite group of people that you can always have that in common with. That's my favorite part. John, what's your question or comment?
It wasn't a question, but I did have an answer for Brett. That was completely different. So to answer your question, Brett, to me, the most important thing was just day one. We get into the room and we have all of the results that come back from what are our strengths, so that we know that you're a maximizer and you're a communicator and you're full of woo. And by just knowing everybody's strengths, it helped to realize it's like you can't always fit a square peg in that round hole. And by knowing this person is good at that, you put them on the things that they're good at, and you move this person over to something that they are good at, and you help everybody succeed that way. But by trying to not work on the things that play to everybody's strength, you weaken the organization if you are not specifically putting the right people in the right roles in order to make your organization as strong as possible. And just knowing how various people work, that right there was just the most aha moment, because I'm a member of a lot of organizations, and after that, it's a lot easier to figure out various personalities and how people's strengths are, because you know where they should actually go in your organization in order to strengthen your organization as a whole. What?
Yeah, there is a lot of, other than the way that you learn about the city, there is a lot of personal development built into the sessions. So you get a lot of insight into how you work as a leader. Ask us questions afterwards.
Thank you, Jennifer. Stay here for 1 second. So in appreciation for your time and program, Plano West Rotary will donate $10 in your name to the Rotary Fund. Together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, your $10 turns into $30 and will provide a polio vaccine for about 50 children. You are awesome. All right, you guys, we are coming to the end of the meeting. On next week, March 7th, our special guest will be Nora Gravoy from the Wellness Center for Older Adults, and her topic will be compassion fatigue. And Joy and I will not be here because we are in a Leadership Plano event, but our past president, Michelle Thornton, will be leading the meeting on next week. Woo-hoo. So if you can all stand and we'll take the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Fifth, is it fun? Yes, please don't go out without seeing Steve from classification talks.